Today in the crypto space, we see Bitcoin still showing some strength. Bitcoin up approximately 8%, Ethereum up approximately 4%, and the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, still looking green. We have AVAX, Doge, we have CRO, SUI, Near Protocol finally waking up, and many others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that is definitely waking up, and it's looking for a push to the upside, and that project is called Fantom. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the general market. I'm glad to say that the market cap, the total market cap right now is above the $3 trillion. So what does that mean, guys? We are in uncharted territory. Price discovery for market cap. The previous high on the market cap in the previous cycle was $3 trillion. Guys, we broke above it just slightly. Looking pretty good here. We see a good volume. Basically, the market is in consensus with this pop. We're seeing a lot of good volume coming in. Market participation is involved, and we are seeing that the large caps are still showing strength. Obviously, beginning with Bitcoin, up 9% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, almost 5%. Doing great. Now, I know a lot of us are a little bit curious as to what's going to be happening to Bitcoin, guys. When Bitcoin pull back, ultimately allowing us to scale in? And if you haven't been scaling in, you know, in the last while, the last few months, I feel your pain. I feel your pain because the market is leaving without you. Guys, don't tell me I didn't warn you. Make sure that you DCA when there's opportunity. And right now, to be honest, generally speaking, as we're seeing the market run up like this, the opportunity is leaving. But when we do get a pullback in the short term, we will definitely get opportunities to scale in on pullbacks. At the end of the day, you have to have a big picture perspective, number one. Number two, you got to look at the narratives that haven't been moving. Number three, you got to look at the market cap. Micro cap, small cap projects haven't really moved yet. The focus right now is the larger cap. So Ethereum finally waking up, giving us that indication that we are getting an altcoin season very soon, and we're going to start to see the rotation happening. We're already seeing signs of rotation because Bitcoin dominance has been following. Guys, join me live again tonight at 8 p.m. EST. We'll talk about the Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin price, Ethereum, and all that good stuff. But more importantly, I take requests. If you have any projects you want me to cover, join live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. Make the request, and I will definitely pull up some charts so we can come up with setups. And we're looking for opportunities, guys. We're looking for great risk to reward ratio opportunities throughout the market so that we can capitalize on the volatility to the upside. Look at Doge. Doge is showing lots of strength, up 20%, doing great here. And as we see Doge up 103% in the last 7 days, I am wondering how that's going to reflect for the other dog coins, the other top dog coins like SHIB and Floki. SHIB right now, you know, still up 62%. And if you look down, we see Floki hanging around somewhere doing well also. So we see a lot of this narrative definitely with the dog coins doing good. We see AVAX finally waking up approximately 10%, 50% in the last 7 days, guys. So you can see how honestly, I'm seeing a bit of green in this market. I'm not saying that we're done, guys. Absolutely not. The market just begun. I'm just saying that as the time progresses and as we see these really good gains in green markets, we should start preparing for a pullback in the short term, meaning 1 hourly, 4 hourly pullbacks. You know, looking at the time frame, meaning the 1 hour and the 4 hour pullbacks are, you know, short and sweet, allows us to scale in, allows us to build a structure and get in with a good structure so that we can mitigate risk on the structure. But ultimately, guys, right now things are getting a little bit heated here, and I'm anticipating a pullback, and I'm questioning when. And this is why I am slowly taking small amounts of profit on my trades so that I can raise capital. It's very important to always have cash on the side, guys. Always have some cash on the side for those opportunities. We don't know if we're going to get a pullback. We don't know when we're going to get it. So just prepare a little bit at a time, scrape a bit of profit off the top. We see Near Protocol wake up today, 15.5% to the upside. And the list goes on, guys. Look at CRO, up 45% today, guys. 144% in the last 7 days. Great gainers throughout the market, guys. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's too many to celebrate. Ultimately, congrats, guys. Congrats if you've been through the entire bear market with me, finding opportunities, looking for DCA opportunities. Congrats, because now is your moment to see the green. All right, guys, let's jump into some of those charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin first. We're going to talk about Fantom today, but as you guys know, I like using Bitcoin as a leading indicator. What is Bitcoin showing us? Bitcoin is showing us strength. Tons of strength, tons of green, tons of opportunity. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. So, as we see Bitcoin show this amount of strength, right, we have to understand that people are focusing on Bitcoin at the current moment because this is where the opportunity is at. However, as we see Bitcoin continue moving, we're almost to 90K, guys. Guys, we're almost to 90K. The reality is that as we get there, we have to expect that some people will be rotating some of this capital, some of these gains into other opportunities, because as we keep on running, the risk to reward ratio is not as healthy as it was before. So remember these days, guys, reflect on these days where I was making videos and I was talking about Bitcoin, guys, being down here, the risk to reward ratio was good. Over here, risk to reward ratio was good because of this little structure and this bounce off to 200. Now that we're in price discovery, all-time highs, what indications do we really have? We have no price action looking left. We are in uncharted territory where things are a little bit difficult to get confluence on. Okay, we have to understand that. So as I've been doing, extension levels, Fibonacci extension levels right now should be your friend. Swing high to swing low, we start looking at 1.27 extensions, 1.618 extensions, and we can see we are slowly grinding to the upside and hitting the 1.618. That is going to be the next target where I'm expecting maybe a bit of a pullback. It doesn't have to happen. We could even, flag out here. We can create some sort of structure. We can go sideways a little bit and allow some of the rotation to happen and seeing altcoins catch up to Bitcoin, because we know a lot of them are still at the bear market bottoms. The reality is some of those micro caps haven't even left the station, guys. So we have to get into the mindset of what is the smart money doing right now? They're de-risking. They're getting out of risky scenarios and rotating their gains into something that is less risky, that is at the bottom of the range. I hate to say it, but Bitcoin, as it continues moving up, it's starting to show risk. And although it could definitely continue going well above the 100,000, we can't negate the fact that it is in a risky zone. And Ethereum has yet to get into all-time highs and in price discovery. So for that matter, we should see the rotation from Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to other large caps, the blue chips, then the mid caps, then the small caps, and then the micro caps, and then who knows what else. Ultimately, that rotation and that flow of capital from large to riskier ultimately is a reflection of what is Bitcoin showing us. Bitcoin is showing us tons of strength in a very risky spot. Let it run, guys. If you're holding Bitcoin at the current moment, of course, another congratulations, because Bitcoin at the end of the day is defying gravity at the current moment. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's take a look at Fantom, because Fantom is in a slightly different stage, right? Because Fantom, in my opinion, is going to be one of the top gainers, right? It's definitely, its projection is from both a fundamental perspective and also from a TA perspective. There's no doubt in my mind that I can see that Fantom has a great opportunity to exceed expectations. The Sonic upgrade from a fundamental perspective is definitely there. We know that Fantom's ecosystem is definitely established and there's a lot happening there. The team is solid, and of course that's what we expect from a good gainer. But guys, if you look at the price action, let me quickly get into the weekly so we can get an idea of really what is happening here. We can see that Fantom hasn't even really left the station just yet. Okay, are we even in at previous high? Are we in price discovery? And no, we are not. So yes, it is a larger cap. It is not a large cap, but it's one of the larger ones out there. However, it's still a good, safe opportunity to see a good amount of capital flow in, especially with the upgrade. You know, we're moving on to Sonic, obviously, and that's going to introduce the speed that we require to compete with top L1s that are currently out there in the market, including Solana and Sui and so on and so forth, right? So that's what we want to see. But from a price action perspective, guys, I'm going to stay here on the weekly because right now the weekly is the best chart. We can get into lower time frames, but right now the weekly is the best chart. Why? Is because we got that higher high, right? We got a higher low, right? Are we going up for another higher high? And this is typical. This is what we could expect. And look at the volume profile. There's not much resistance if we decide to go for that higher high. Obviously, it is definitely a good opportunity for Fantom to see this thing go for a higher high. But I have a question for you guys. What do you think about the projects that are built on Fantom? The smaller cap, the micro caps, the DEX, the meme coins, the this, the that, the gaming, whatever they have. All of the projects that they have available, readily available on Fantom, majority of them are DeFi at the current moment. What do you think they're going to do as small projects, right? $100 million market cap, $50 million market cap. They're going to fly, guys. They're going to fly in comparison even to Fantom. Why? Because, of course, a small amount of capital can cause them to move successfully. Now, ultimately, if you're bullish on Fantom, you should be bullish on the ecosystem as well. So diversifying within an ecosystem is a great way to maximize your gains without using any leverage, because technically it's a leverage position, right? You're taking the risk on a small micro cap, but within a very bullish narrative, which would be the Fantom ecosystem. Okay, so we're making higher highs and higher lows. Now the question is, do we go express for that higher high? It does look like it. We're getting some volume, right? We're looking at the weekly, right? We got a nice spike right here. We're getting a bit of a retracement. We're going stagnant a little bit, waiting for an expansion to the upside. That would be super bullish. We're seeing Bitcoin basically at the current moment, as we remember, we use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. We're seeing Bitcoin suck liquidity out of the entire market. Essentially, everybody's putting their capital in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is running. But as soon as we see signs that Bitcoin is even taking a coffee break, a small break, people will be taking profit and rotating it into the next opportunities. And I believe that Fantom is going to be able to attract that capital given the fundamentals and even the price. Okay, so this is something that we got to definitely consider. Now let's take a look at oscillators for a second. And I'm here on the weekly. On the weekly time frame, we could definitely hesitate and stay here for a good while as we see the momentum continue to the upside. We did get overbought. Did we get a full reset? Is it done? And we're going to finally get overbought again? And guys, be prepared for that, because in bullish conditions, it's very possible. I want you to focus on this expansion. By the way, guys, if you want to know more about this indicator, I do have links in the description. And in addition to that, I do have links to Blowfin, an exchange that does not require KYC. Guys, if you're looking for a no KYC exchange, Blowfin has been doing really well for me in the last little while. So feel free to check it out. What I do want to point out here on this indicator is the look at the expansion here. Okay, we're getting bigger. The bullish expansions are getting stronger and stronger. What about if we finally go for a bullish expansion? Okay, what about the bearish expansions to the downside? Look how big and strong, right? We're getting weaker. We're getting weaker. Now all of a sudden you can see that there's a bit of a trend where we're slowing seeing that the bullish expansions are getting stronger and way more confident. And for me, that is considered an opportunity to see the next impulsive move, the next expansion move, to be one that actually takes us to a level where we can see some really good gains to the upside. And I'm going to show you what I mean based on the chart in a second. Now, if you look at this oscillator, which is the trend oscillator, you can see clearly that the EMAs, the moving averages, are in the bullish control zone. EMAs facing up with the purple expansion. And just mind you guys, I'm looking at the weekly. Weekly breakouts are massive. Weekly moves are massive. We're talking about huge moves. Okay, so I'm keeping it real here on a big picture time frame, because Fantom at the current moment is giving us a real good signal that we could definitely see some moves to the upside. Okay, now let's quickly get onto the daily, because that's my typical time frame. This is where things get really interesting. Why? It's because technically we're breaking out right now. Now, I get it. This is where I mentioned, guys, buy the dip. I couldn't say it any louder and any more to be buying the dip on this back test. Okay, it's very important that you take full advantage in bull market conditions, that the retracements are not going to be deep. They're not going to be extensive in the sense that they're coming down to 886 and 786 retracements. We're lucky if we get down to the golden pocket. If you take the swing low, let me quickly just do this for you guys. Swing low to swing high, where we were before, because we went up for higher high. We got to the 0.5 Fibonacci and we're done. We hold confluence, which is the previous highs. Nice yellow thick line suggesting that's where you should be buying. Green arrow right here, that's where you should be buying. We got the 200 daily acting as support, that's where you should be buying. Lots of signals in confluence to suggest that's where you should be buying. And all of a sudden we broke trend on the momentum, making that higher high and potentially now going for an overbought condition. Guys, bullish. Look at this trend oscillator. EMA's got an EMA's facing up, green histogram bars, slight bullish divergence with the green dot, giving me such amount of confidence that we're ready to move to the upside once again. And as you can see, Fantom is breaking out of this structure with a healthy risk reward ratio with the stop loss underneath here. Right now, not really, because we're breaking out. So what I would be doing in the next little while is considering yourself a breakout trader, okay? And at this current moment, things are a bit risky because we could definitely get rejected. However, it's still not a bad time to DCA, to start building a small position. Buying a little bit now, that's fine. If we get rejected and come back down and we hold support on this white line, that's another good area. And then on a break of the previous high, whatever it is, wherever it lands, guys, that's another good area to take a bit of a position to build your average entry right around this level. Now, if at any moment we see the Fantom price break back into the structure below, meaning rejection and come back down, even back test the previous resistance, the white line, and get rejected. Let me just extend over this white line so you can see what I mean. It's very bearish if that happens, guys. So basically your invalidation is if we fall back in and even back test and get rejected off of the white line, that's a bearish thing. Exit your positions. But again, if we can stay above and even back test it as support instead of resistance, as I showed you, that is a good sign that Fantom is ready to continue and bounce to the upside. Great opportunities here, guys. Definitely great opportunities. Now, again, zooming out a little bit more, we have the previous high, which is a local high, to act as resistance. Maybe we get to this level and get a bit of resistance. But what about if we break above? And there's not a lot of resistance above that, to be honest. And to be honest, you can see right above the even right now above the $1 mark, we start to see volume totally diminish, allowing the price to really get up to previous highs very easily to about $3.50. I can see this thing definitely hitting the $5 mark very easily in the next little while, right? And still, you know, seeing Fantom do a 10x, we could definitely see a lot more. But in the meantime, guys, it's all about DCAing and taking full advantage of any opportunities that you may have, including any pullbacks, because we have been seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum and many of these altcoins, including Doge, rocketing to the upside. And at any moment, we could get a bit of negativity. And my question is to you, what are you going to do about it? If we do dip, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be ready to deploy capital, or are you going to just endure the dip and wait for the recovery? In my opinion, this is the time to raise capital to be prepared for that dip just in case, because it could happen any moment in the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next few days. And timing is very hard in this market, but horizontals to know where it should pull back is very clear. This is why it's important that we always have a bullish and a bearish thesis, because if we do get that pullback very soon, even on Fantom, we could break back into the structure and revisit the bottom of the range. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but guys, we need to be prepared. If I offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Guys, I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.